Hello my friends, I'm Mihaela Gimlin, I'm an artist, and today we will talk about paint, oil versus acrylic, and what is the major reason of choosing one over the other. When it comes to paint, there are three major components: the pigment, the adhesive, and the base. The pigment is what gives the color. Now, in the store we mostly find synthetic pigments, but in the past the artists were using natural sources for their pigment, such as iron oxide to get red. Now, in the name of the paint, we still find those references to the materials that they were using in the past, such as titanium white, or yellow chrome, or cobalt blue. Now, for the second element, which is the adhesive, I want to share with you a short story. When I was younger, I found a good deal on pigments. I bought it quickly, I came home, and I mixed the pigment with water. I started painting, and a few minutes later, the pigment simply fell down from the canvas. Why? Because there was no adhesive. There was nothing to glue the pigment to the canvas. So that day I learned a lesson. Our third element is the base. For oil paint, it's simple. The base, it's oil. For acrylic though, the term acrylic refers to the adhesive, which is an acrylic polymer. But the base for the acrylic is water. So the base for oil paint, it's oil, and for the acrylic, it's water. Now for this next point, I want to illustrate it. I'm going to fill in each of these rectangles with paint. The red paint, it's oil, and the blue paint, it's acrylic. After I finish the blue rectangle, I'm going to let them sit for 10 minutes. As you can see, that after 10 minutes the acrylic paint is completely dry, while the oil paint it's still wet. Depending on the temperature, acrylic can even dry much faster than 10 minutes. On the other hand, oil paint can take days to dry. As we just illustrated, the main difference between oil and acrylic is dry time. Now let's talk about the main reason why you want your paint to dry fast. First, if you're working on a project with multiple layers and you want each layer to be completely dry before moving on with the next one, then it helps if your paint dries in 2-3 minutes rather than having to wait 2 or 3 days. Likewise, if you're making a mistake and you want to cover it up, again, it helps if it dries fast. Or if you have a deadline, or if you have to deliver a painting to a client. If you're painting in acrylic, once you finalize your painting, it's completely done. If you're working in oils, then you will have to wait an additional 2 or 3 weeks until it's completely dry. Now, let's talk about reasons why you want your paint to dry slow. First and the most important reason is blending. Oil colors blend better. And not only that they blend better, but they give you plenty of time to work until you're happy with the result. With acrylic paint, you have to be decisive and accurate in short amount of time. And for this reason, I believe that oil paint is more forgiving. A couple other differences I want to mention. After you painting with oil, you have to wash your brushes with a special solution. Not only that it smells bad, but it also shortens the life of your brushes. With acrylic paint, you're washing your brushes with water. And the overall cost of oil paint is more than the acrylic. Not only that the oil itself is more expensive, but you also have to buy the special solution to clean your brush and the linseed oil. You will use this to dilute your paint. With acrylic, you will use just water. One final point I would like to make. Oil has the reputation of being more sophisticated or more prestigious, and that will be a reason to choose oil. But when it comes to the way it looks, there's not a lot of difference in between oil and acrylics. For example, behind me, it's one of my paintings. This is a scene from Florence, Italy. In this painting, I use mixed media. I use oil and I use acrylic. I'm going to give you the chance to look at it. And without knowing, can you say where I use the oil and where I use the acrylic? Did you figure it out? If not, I'm going to tell you. The sky was painted in oil, and the rest of the painting, it's acrylic. The reason why I use oil in the sky, it's because I needed more time to blend. And it comes back to the point that I made before, that the major advantage of oil is blending. There you have it, oil versus acrylic, and the major reason why to use one over the other. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video. Bye bye!